what can you do to avoid comparing yourself too much to others, stay on track with your own performance, and eventually progress way more than if you would compare yourself to others all the time. Let's go. Okay, so obviously, if you don't track your own progress, like there's nothing to compare it to, right? So you got to make sure that you use something like Training Pinks, which we love to use, or just like a little journal and write everything down so you can look back later on and be like, oh, a year ago, I did, for example, the 5K in X amount of time. And now I improved by so much. And this is the journey I walked through. And I had these setbacks, but I learned out of them and I get better. And that's the next important point here. Celebrate the small victories. It's super easy to come back from a test competition or something, a little run, and you just improved your heart rate over the last few months on your easy runs. It's way lower. And instead of celebrating that, you might just be like, but pro athlete X is still better. Doesn't help you, you know, it's just negative thoughts. And these negative thoughts are dragging you down. So you want to make sure that you reframe those into good learnings if you have negative thoughts. For example, oh, on today's ride, I totally forgot to eat well. I bonked, and it's rough. It's so bad, I suck, blah, blah, blah. No, growth mindset is the important thing here. I learned today that I really need to fuel and that this is important. So I write it down as a lesson learned, and boom, growth mindset. Instead of we're getting dragged down, we're like, oh, this is an opportunity to learn and to get better. Perfect. I did it in a training and not in a race. Even better. You know, you got to take the steps forward in your own journey. If you again look on social media and see, oh, these pros are all like they have it nailed down, good for them, doesn't help you anything. You gotta learn your own lessons and really learn from them and progress out of them. Okay, big part that will help you is surrounding yourself with supportive people. Like, if you surround yourself with toxic people that drag you down all the time, you're gonna pick up on those energies, and down the road, you're gonna be negative too. So, really make sure that you have a good support team, either good friends, good coach, someone who really stands behind you and helps you to celebrate even the small victories, because those are super important. And then it's also important to embrace your own unique situation. I get it that it's cool to look on social media to see, oh, this pro is training this way. And instead of comparing yourself to that situation, try to look into their shoes or look into their head and figure out what situation they are in. For example, they don't have a 9 to 5 job. Oh, okay, so they have way more time to recover. That might explain why they can work out so much harder and totally have a different journey. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. And instead of being like, oh, I'm envy, I'm so jealous that this person don't has a 9 to 5 job and being mad about your own situation, you could be like, yeah, but without the 9 to 5 job, it's really hard to have a life and pay for stuff. So they're really dependent on their performance all the time. Dang, that's a rough lifestyle. If anything ever happens, they get injured or something, they don't earn money. Meanwhile, I do the sport for fun and don't earn money with it, but I can just like really embrace it. Huh. See? Totally different perspective. And all of a sudden, if you see that they're not working out because it's just fun for them, but because it's their job, it's a totally different mindset too. So that helps. Obviously, positive influences, coaches, friends in your own corner are essential. Um, and this should be obvious, but limit exposure to those negative influences. It could be social media, could be even friends who are toxic, who gaslighting you or who are just not supportive in a way in your life that you need them to be. I had that myself with family members. I got talked down for years and years and years when I went to the Olympic Training Center. I did it anyway because I was on my own journey. I know what I did and I loved it, you know? So over time, I slowly cut that out and I saw how that helped my progress too. So that's another thought there. I know that's not super easy to do all the time, but at the end of the day, it's important that you do the right things for your life. Another important part here is setting realistic goals, which can be rough, especially if you're new in the sport. It's hard to know what you want to do and what you can do too. You know, you might again see all these people on social media and think, oh yeah, that is possible, I can do that, I can do that, and then you set these high expectations. I fell into that trap too, and you don't achieve, and then you're unhappy, then you're unsatisfied, and you break yourself down. It's a really bad cycle, so you got to be careful with that. So setting realistic goals, there's this rule that you want them to be like 2-3% harder than your current abilities. So let's say you can run a 10K in 45 minutes. Saying you want to run a 10K in 32 minutes this year is unrealistic. But saying, hey, maybe I can get closer to the 40, maybe 42 this year, 43 maybe, might be more realistic, even though that's already a big step too. But that's way more realistic than, the unachievable goal that you will be unhappy with. So you got to learn to go with your own progress and see those expectations in a realistic way. And also allow yourself to adjust goals along the way. When you see, oh no, I was sick, and then instead of being like, oh no, I was sick for 2 weeks, but I still want to achieve the 43-minute 10K, so now I'm going to work out even harder to get there. Well, that backfires a lot of times. And then you get injured, or even the cold is coming back and will be 10 times worse instead of you progressing. So, really being realistic and adjusting the goals along the way with whatever happens in your life is super important too. And the problem is, people a lot of times don't like to adjust the goal down. They just like to adjust it up. So if we have this goalpost here, instead of being like, oh, I got further away, I'm like, setting the goalpost a bit closer so it's still realistic. They're like, oh, I'm getting closer to the goalpost. Oh, maybe back there's another. It's a bit of greed actually. There's another goal. So at 90% of achieving the goal, they're nearly there. They maybe ran 43:20. So it's not a 43 yet, right? 43:20. They're like, oh, dang, I'm so close. Well, my new goal could be 41. And then that's toxic too. You should achieve a goal and be happy about it, celebrate it, and then set the next goal. Like always dragging out the goalpost will make you unhappy and unsatisfied in the long run. You really have to celebrate the small victories. Otherwise, you're going to break down at one point or another. Last section here is kind of the pinnacle of admiring your own progress. If you're able to celebrate others truly from the bottom of your heart, then you're there. Then you're good. You don't have to worry. So that means really try to see others people's perspective, where they're coming from, what they had to go through, and their journey, and celebrate their success. This is actually what I do with my coaching and why I love coaching so much, because first of all, I can see athletes develop from, oh, this is the dream I want to, where I want to go to, but also seeing all the ups and downs during that journey, and being able for me to celebrate that means a lot, and it's really fulfilling. So you should give that a try if you have friends, and instead of being like, oh nice, he ran a 10K in 39 minutes, instead of being like, oh, I'm just at 41 minutes, being like, nice. Dang, man. Good work. Good job. You worked hard for this. I admire that. I appreciate it. And I celebrate you. That can help you to also get the positive feedback loop into your own journey again. So make sure to really celebrate others, celebrate yourself, be nice to yourself, and focus on your own journey. You got this. If you have any questions about training, send me a mail at info@konaendurance.com. Leave a comment here. I'm always happy to see a like and a subscribe. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.